Thank you very much. Let me start by saying I love sales. Finding new clients, hunting, expanding the business, helping people improve their companies, their careers, their business, very, very satisfying for me. And I notice if I actually have a good day and I meet some new clients and it goes well, I feel really elevated. And if I'm sitting in my office doing a lot of presidential sort of administration stuff, not so happy. So selling is where I find a lot of joy. And today I'm going to talk about some of the transition of things that have happened from COVID through to where we are now, where we're going. And talk a little bit about Dale Carnegie first. I said I was in sales, so we're selling Dale Carnegie. So 112 years ago, we started in New York. We've been in Japan 61 years. We have 200 offices in 100 countries around the world. We teach in over 30 languages. So we're a very dynamic organization. And this is a map of the world with Dale Carnegie. And it's still got Russia up there, but I think that one's got to come down. I don't think that's happening anymore. But you see we're pretty global. And some famous graduates, particularly like Warren Buffett on the left here, and my other favorite over there, Chuck Norris on the right. Quite a good split there between different graduates. And these books are very famous: How to Win Friends and Influence People, Hitokasu, and How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, Michiwa Hirakeru, are also well known. So keep selling in the top 10 business books, every language, every year, every country. It's incredible. Still going. The knowledge is there. So the structure tonight sounds very basic. Know, like, and trust in sales. But I'm going to look at that through the lens of what's happened since COVID and what's happening with social media and where we're going with ourselves. So we'll start with the know part. There's an American sales trainer called Grant Cardone. If you've heard of him, he's a really hard-driving American sales guy. And he often makes the comment that we in sales are all invisible. This is our problem. We're invisible. People don't know we exist. And so how can they buy from us if they don't know we exist? So how do we go over this invisibility? So if you think about it, how do we become known in a world which is just packed with media, 1-minute reels now on all sorts of social media, concentration spans are getting shorter and shorter. How do you break out? How do you become visible for people? It's quite a big issue around sales. So I'm going to talk a lot about that tonight, on how to be known so that people find you rather than you having to run around trying to find people all the time. And so during COVID, networking just disappeared. There was no networking. ACCJ would run events, they would be online. You're in this tiny little box on the screen. You can't talk to anybody else, maybe the speaker or the panel perhaps, you can interact with them. But very frustrating, very, very frustrating to try and get hold of people. Fortunately, that's gone. And I'm looking at David over there. He's been at more this week than I've been. I think that we were in common, but at least 3 of them, networking events this week. So being able to get out and meet you tonight, exchange business cards, find out what you're doing, that I think is a really essential part of sales, which we were denied for 3 years. So now we have the opportunity, and I think for all of us, we should be saying how many activities, how many events can I physically get to, and make that a priority, because the clients don't know us. And then I'll give you an example. I had a business meeting today. Big company. I met the gentleman at a networking event. I followed up. He said, okay, let's meet. Okay, brought his talent head. He was there, another person's there, understanding what they need. I realized straight away I had 3 solutions for them which matched perfectly with what they needed. Now, they realized that too. Oh, this is great. You know, we haven't talked about money yet. We didn't even raise the subject of money today. We just talked about match of solution for need, right, at that stage. We'll get to the money part in a moment. But that would never have happened if I hadn't gone to that event, I hadn't connected with him. And this is going on constantly. So I really want to encourage everybody, get out there and network, go to as many events as you can. Now, not everybody is going to be a potential client, right? And probably within 10, 15 seconds, you should be able to tell if this person is a potential client. I can tell in 10 to 15 seconds if they're a potential client. If they're not, I have a charming conversation, and then I move on. And I find someone who might be a client, because my time is limited. Networking event time is limited. I've got to try and meet as many people. We call it working the room in sales, right? Work the room, find out where the buyers are. So I encourage everyone to take the opportunity that COVID allows us, after it ended, to come back and do networking, because that's where the clients are. And we become visible to those clients where we weren't before. So it's such a big relief to be able to do that again. The other thing is, is cold calling during COVID was a nightmare. I realized during COVID, I didn't capture people's mobile phone numbers, or their cards don't have their mobile phone numbers, and they're all at home. How can I get to them if I can't, contact them? You send an email, nothing happens. You really want to try and ring people, talk to them if you can. So you get the general number. This is the same before COVID, same during COVID, and the same after COVID. You ring the general number, although I must say during COVID sometimes you ring the general number and nobody picked up. Like the system really broke down there for a while. Companies had nobody there picking up the phone. It was like it rang out. Incredible. Anyway, but someone does pick up. It's usually some rather junior person who's been threatened. If they put any salespeople through their boss, they're going to be kicked out of the company and beaten on the way out the door. So they are not helpful. They're savage beasts to get rid of salespeople like us, right? So it's tough. And they're hard to break through. And after COVID, nothing's changed. Those savage beasts are still there picking up the phone, getting rid of salespeople. So what I suggest for everyone was during COVID, and I suggested now is that same individual, that same person, if you send a mail piece, physical mail piece, to the company with that person's address on it that you're trying to get to, that person who will not let you get to speak with the person you want to contact, the buyer, will diligently take that package to their desk, will not open it, and will place it on their desk for you. So you can get straight to the buyer through a snail mail and get around the cold call problem of trying to be able to physically speak with people. So cold calling didn't get any easier during COVID, but it's still no easier now. It's hard. There's a place for it. I think we've got to be snipers with cold calling. We identify companies we think are a good match for our services, and we try and identify individuals we think are going to be the key decision makers, and we should try and target them. We should try and get through, and if we can't get through by phone or email, send them something that's going to intrigue their interest, arouse an eager desire to buy from you from the piece that you sent to them. So what about social media? Where are your buyers? What are your buyers looking at? Which particular platform are they on? Are you on that same platform? Can you find out what they're doing in their social media because you're sharing the same information? They're there. So how do we become visible to our clients through social media? Okay. So this is very interesting. I went to Bing, put in a search on top 10 platforms in Japan for social media. Got a bunch of numbers. I checked it against ChatGPT, different set of numbers. I tried 3 or 4 different organizations, and the number variation in some cases was massive. Directionally, the order was pretty similar, but the actual numbers they were quoting were really astonishingly at variance. And YouTube is a monster in Japan. So are you on YouTube? I know most of you are not on YouTube. I had a look at your YouTube sites. Okay. How about Line? Line's big. Advertising online could be something. I'm online, you online. Twitter, now called X, again, big in Japan. Instagram, again, big. Facebook, not so big. TikTok, not so big in Japan. Not so big in Japan. Pinterest, not big. And LinkedIn, not very big. But for me, a lot of my clients are my target are expat CEOs who have decision-making power, but their staff are all Japanese, right? And my Japanese staff, they target the Japanese level, but as a foreigner, I can go in at that level and try and get to the CEO to have a conversation about how we can help them. So LinkedIn, for me personally, is not a bad platform, because a lot of foreigners are on LinkedIn, and a lot of people in this room are on LinkedIn, but some of you are not, right? Some of you just, it's for you're Japanese, you're not on LinkedIn much, you know, because it's thought to be a wrong sort of site for you. So my point is, which platform are your clients on? And if they are on that platform, do they see you there? I'm not sure TikTok is a platform for my demographic, but I'm thinking about trying it. LinkedIn certainly is. Twitter, X certainly is. Facebook, yes. Certainly. YouTube, certainly. So which one's for you? Where's the attention sit? Now, one of the problems with when you put content up, and one thing I noticed, I don't think there's anybody I saw in this room who's put up content recently, I mean, let's say last 6 months, which was your original content. I saw a lot of people reposting other people's original content. I saw a lot of that. I went and had a look at your social media before this meeting. I saw you hopping on the bandwagon of other people's original content, but your own original content is not there. Okay? Just about everybody. So I think there's an opportunity for you. Now, you might think, well, look, I don't know what to write, or I can't write, or whatever. ChatGPT or one of these AI models will help me, which it will. If I ask AI, do a draft of this talk tonight, how it would look, it'll come up with something quite solid, a little bit generic at this point, to be honest. And so the barriers to entry are now very, very low using AI for content creation. What it means, though, is you've got to differentiate so you can compete with people who are putting up stuff through AI. So your content is a bit more personalized. Your content is a bit cleverer. Your content is a bit more on target for that buyer, differentiated. If anyone just pumps into AI, give me an article on this, they're all going to be competing with each other, and it won't have that personal element that you can bring to it, which will make your content stand out. So we're going to be awash with lots of creative content, which is going to be rather similar. And so we don't have to give up in the face of that. We can still go ahead, but we can differentiate ourselves through personalization of what we're talking about, our experiences, our insights, our observations. So video and audio, very powerful. Podcasting, video for YouTube. Now, some of our self-limiting beliefs are around, I don't look good on video. I'm not handsome enough or beautiful enough, right? Or I don't sound, deep DJ-style voice, for audio, so I can't do it. Or I can't write, so I can't do it. Well, the writing part, the AI takes care of that. But these are self-limiting beliefs. Think about it. Were the Beatles super handsome? Did they have great voices? No. Bob Dylan? Great voice? Not handsome? No. Sting? His voice, quite high. Handsome? No. But they've been amazingly successful in music industry. Didn't hold them back. So don't be limited by thinking you cannot appear in video. And these days, your mobile phone has got a high quality camera in there that can record very easily. Barriers to entry for video are very low. Right? Now I'm using separate audio tonight so that I can get a better quality of audio when I do the podcast version of this, rather than just coming off the camera. But if you hold the iPhone up close enough, you don't have to worry about the voice quality. It'll be good enough. The mic will pick it up well enough. So there's an opportunity for all of you to create content based on your insights, your experience, your observations about your industry and what's going on there. And I encourage you to do that. So if people want to search and find you, they meet you, they want to check you out, who are you? Well, where are they going to find you? Are you on, we do a search on you on Google, what are we going to find? Or Yahoo, or Bing, ChatGPT. YouTube is a major search engine, major search engine. Amazon is a major search engine, right, as well. Very powerful. So what will we find? So this is what I did a search on myself. So Google, I had 24 entries, and my Google number of entries has actually come down. It used to be many more, but it's actually come down. I don't know why, but it's actually getting less. 24, Yahoo, 36, Bing, 91. I stopped at page 10, but 91. So if someone's using AI for Bing to find out about me, they're going to find a lot of information. ChatGPT, never heard of me. Never said, you know, up till January 2022, don't know anything about this guy, and he must have done something after January 2022. Not true, not true. YouTube, I stopped at what did I say, stopped at 50, is it 50? I said there, yeah, 50 pages, and or 50 entries, I should say. I stopped at 50 entries, but just kept on going, because I had too many videos. And then Amazon, only 12 entries on Amazon. So that was me. I only show this to ask, if we do you, how visible are you on these search engines? Because people will check you out. Who is this person? What can I find out about them? What have they done? Now, I think for Americans, because you adopted Facebook quite early, you have sort of ruined it for yourselves, because you've got a lot of personal stuff on Facebook of you in compromising positions, you know, with a drink with a very dodgy umbrella in it in a pool somewhere, you know. And so for a lot of Americans, they don't use Facebook for business because they've personalized it. Now, I came to Facebook late. So if you look on my Facebook, you'll hardly see anything about me personally. It's all business. Twitter, same thing, all business. YouTube, same thing, all business. My family don't appear. My private life doesn't appear, hardly at all. So that's an advantage for me. So I'm going to use myself as a little bit of a case study here. Not that I want to say, oh, Greg's story is so fantastic, and you know, let me tell you how great I am. I'm just taking myself and I'm showing you what I've done to stimulate your thinking about what's possible for you in terms of getting known by clients. So this is my LinkedIn page, and you'll notice I'm Dr. Greg Story, brackets, franchise owner, master trainer, best-selling author, leadership, sales, presentations, Tokyo. That encapsulates everything I do. Right there. When people look at me, they know what I do, right? Straight away. And then this one, last 7 days, my LinkedIn posts had 11,117 impressions on LinkedIn. 516 people viewed my profile in the last 90 days. 27,246 people are following me, okay? And 946 people searched me last week to find me, more about me. If we do this for you, and you look at your analytics, what would the numbers show? Would people be finding you? Would you be coming up on searches? So this is our top performing content. This is our Japanese podcast. It's only a podcast. Business no Tachijin, no Oshier. This podcast has 71,700 downloads so far. Okay, it's been going about, I think we're up to episode 69, so a bit over a year. We're in Japan, you know, there's 125 million Japanese, so obviously there's a big market here for Japanese language, and it does the best. By far it does the best. And then you see here, last 30 days, 2,556 people were accessing that podcast. So it's very, very high performing. This is the next high performing Leadership Japan series. This is one in English. 70,617 people have downloaded this one. And we look here. Last 30 days, 542 people download that podcast and listen to it. So English, obviously a smaller market than Japanese, and but still substantial connections. Some of the people in this room have been on my podcast for Japan's Top Business Interviews. And so this one also performs very well, 22,000. This has been going for up to episode 181, lands on Saturday. So you can work it out, basically a little bit over 3 years. So that's accumulation of 3 years for that one. And then again, last 30 days, 719 people listened to that podcast, or one of the podcasts. Sales Japan series, we've got 29,000 people listened to that. So far, we're about 380 odd episodes, so how many years is that? Presentation Japan series, about 20,000. Same, it's been going for the last, about the same, 380 something episodes. This is Japanese, Business Pro Terebi. It's both TV and audio. We strip the audio out from the video, and we do it as a podcast. Not getting a lot of traction as a podcast, only about 8,000. It's been going for, we've done 90 episodes, so it's fortnightly. So it's been going for a little while, not tremendously popular. Cutting Edge, this only got 8,000 odd downloads. This has been going since about 2018, not so many. And Japan Business Mastery Show, been going the same period of time. It's got a bit less, 7,000. So YouTube channel, we have 2,353 videos up on YouTube, which is quite a substantial number. And we've got 1,830 people subscribing to that, which isn't a huge number, but it's not bad. It's not bad. We'd like it to be a lot more, of course. But this is our Tokyo Japan Daikani TV channel. We call it TV. We don't just call it YouTube, we call it TV. Now, interestingly enough, in the last 28 days, we've had 46,000 people watching one of our videos. All right, so not bad. And then on our website, we have thought leadership. You can go there, get white papers, ebooks. We have our TV shows there, white papers accessible from there, podcast books, all on the website showing people what we've got to get them to go and look at it. And then podcast, we do all of these shows every week. Some are fortnightly, every week mainly. And then it just scrolls down for all of them there. And then TV shows, we have 3 of those, same thing. Then I get into books. This is the first book I wrote, Japan Sales Mastery. And I did this not to sell books. I did this to sell sales training, because there's a high credibility and people will know about me. And when I go to clients, we hand it out to clients. We give it out. We don't try and sell it to people. Selling, if I want to be Stephen King, I can sell books. But if I want to be Greg Story, I better hand them out and get people to buy my sales training. And then so this again is being known, being found. And we did the Japanese translation, Zaegyo, I call it. And you see the yen sign in there. The designer came up with that, very clever. And a friend of mine, I was having lunch with a Japanese friend of mine. I said, look, I've got this book on sales and Japanese. What's a Japanese title? We call it Japan Sales Mastery. I don't know what to call it. He said, we'll just call it, Zaegyo, Zaegyo. And then my son said, Dad, drop the za and make it the, because you're a foreigner who's writing in Japanese, so that's more interesting. Call it the Egyo, which is how the title came up. And then this is my second book. When I was doing the first one, I realized there hadn't been any books on doing business in Japan been published for about 35 years. Japan was booming in the 90s, lots of people writing books, and then China became the star, and interest just dropped away. You can find on YouTube lots of stuff about how to hand over the meishi and where to sit in the room. But beyond that, it's not much help. So I thought, well, I'll write a book, simple book, on how to do business in Japan that's modern. It's current. So I wrote this book. And then this one is my next book on presentations, right? Japan Presentations Mastery on presentation skills, very, very critical. And then we've just released the Japanese title, Anatamo, Prezen no Tatsujin. That's just available now on Amazon as well. These are all on Amazon. So again, being found, being known. And I wrote this book, Stop Wasting Money on Training. Right? Stop wasting money on training as a guide to how to choose a training company, because I realized no one's written a book on that. So we are experts as training companies, so I can write a book on that. Again, we're not expecting to sell many of these books, but like today, I gave out my Japan Sales Mastery, and I gave a copy of this to the target client, right? And Japanese title is Training de Okane o Muni Suru wa Yamimashou, right? Same idea. But the punchline, right? The punchline is here. How to get the best results from your training budget in Japan. Again, I'm an expert on training, so come to me. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. Get to know me about that. And then I use this when I post my LinkedIn every day, Twitter, Facebook every day. This comes up as part of the text. And it shows I've written these books. Again, it's all about know me and know credibility that I have. So these are things that you can do. You can do these things too. I mean, you know, ChatGPT can help you in terms of writing, but you need to polish it. You need to add your special sauce to it to become known. Now, being liked is another key aspect. Know, like, and trust. So, okay, they know you. Great. Do they like you? We'll do business with people we don't like. But we don't prefer it. We'd rather work with people we like. So what makes us likable? Why would people want to do business with us? What makes us likable? So first of all, how much do we know about the client and their industry? You turn up to a meeting, you've got to know. The great thing about AI is you can learn a lot about industries and people very quickly. Whereas before, it was very hard to find that information. Today, it's incredible. And they expect you to have done your research. So you come in and you start asking very basic questions. They think, well, why are you wasting my time on this stuff? You should already know that. You should have researched us already. So you try and become likable. Now, people have different personalities. And you don't have the time to run a deep psychological diagnostic tool across people to work out what they are. But if you can make two decisions, you get pretty close. Decision number one, is this person rather assertive or not so assertive? Decision one. That's on a horizontal plane. Assertive, not so assertive. On a vertical, are they rather people-oriented or are they rather outcome-oriented? When you hear them talk, they talk about people, they talk about KPIs, talk about ROI, talk about the revenue. What are they talking about? What's the conversation like? Where are they focused? So when you know that, you can start to place people. So I remember it's a European company, very famous company. New president arrived. I was meeting the president for the first time. He comes in the room. I was already there before him, came in the meeting room. I got 5 seconds into a little bit of small talk, you know, as we do in Japan. He said, okay, let's get down to business. Straight away, I know immediately which personality style he is. Immediate, no hesitation, I know. So therefore I know how to approach him. I know how to adjust my way of communicating to the one that he likes. Now, you don't have to become schizophrenic. I'm the same person. I don't change. But my communication style changes completely. And I'll show you this chart here. So this is where we place people. If you are assertive and very, very interested in outcomes, revenues, KPIs, you're a driver type. Now I know this type extremely well because that's me. And if I meet a fellow driver, it's very easy. I know what they like, I know how to talk to them. They have time is money, don't waste my time, get to the point, get out of my office. I know how to treat them. The opposite though is the amiable. Let's have a cup of tea. Let's get to know each other. I can't come in with a big strong sales guy presence with that type of person. I have to drop my voice down, drop my energy down. With the driver, if I'm soft and quietly spoken and low energy, I've got to drive it right up. I've got to bring that right up to match where they are. If they're extremely detail-oriented, proof, evidence, data, numbers to 3 decimal places, analyticals, right? You better come in with the numbers. You better come in talking about proof, testimonials, evidence that they will believe. Because if you don't have that, they will just discount you. The opposite of that is the big picture person who don't get me in the weeds of the detail. I want to meet with, particularly salespeople. I don't want to do the CRM. I want to talk to people. That's what I'm good at. They don't like the admin, right? If you're that person, then you've got to be energetic. Lots of, be fun. Yeah, let's go to the pub. Let's, have a party. That's what they're like. They're big picture people. Once you know that, you adjust your communication style to be more like them. They feel comfortable with you. If you think about your friends, often they're like you. They're people like you for a reason. That's why they're your friends. So I always think, if I can, doesn't always happen, but my fundamental idea is I try to make every one of my clients my friend. That's my fundamental objective, trying to make them my friend. Can't do it every time, but I want to try and make them my friend. I want to have a lifetime professional relationship with them in a very friendly manner. Right? Doesn't always work, but that's what I'm thinking. So this helps me to understand, okay, where do I need to change my communication pattern to really resonate with this person best so they feel most comfortable talking to me? Because if I'm rather amiable type and the person's talking really close to me and loud and aggressively, I'm not comfortable. But if I'm a driver and they've got this little quiet voice and hardly any energy, and it's like, get out of my office, you're just wasting my time here. That doesn't grab them. You know? So we've got to work out where they are. And we can do that very quickly. So here's some Dale Carnegie principles that helps us. So for all styles, don't criticize, or complain or condemn your opposition. Don't even talk about your opposition like that. It doesn't work with any of these styles. Give sincere, honest appreciation. Amiables, like that. Expressives, like that. Analyticals, they don't believe it unless there's proof. Drivers don't care. Arousing the person an eager want. Drivers, if you've got something they want, can help them, they want it now. Okay, I'll listen to you. Now maybe analyticals will listen to you if you've got something around the numbers that resonates with them, they want to know more, that sounds good. You know, expressives, you know, if you are a fun person to be with, and we're gonna really blow up this business, we're gonna really drive the sales up, we're gonna get all these new clients, that's exciting to them. That's what they want. And if you can help them deliver that, they want to know. And also, number 4, become genuinely interested in people. Amiables are like that, expressives are like that, analyticals don't care, drivers don't care. Right? Smile, works with everybody, Drivers, analyticals, not as much as amiables and expressives, but still, always nice to smile. And then we look at person's name. Drivers tend to have big egos. They like the sound of their own name. Expressives are very people-oriented. They like the sound of their own name. Amiables like the sound of their own name. Analyticals don't care. Not interested. Show me the 3 decimal places. Okay? Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Amiables, if you warm them up, they will talk about themselves, but they're a bit reserved. Analyticals, not interested in talking to you about themselves. Drivers, they love to talk about themselves. Expressives love to talk about themselves because they're important people. Okay? And then talk in terms of the other person's interests. Well, all of them. That applies to all of them. They have got interest, talk in those terms, and they'll be very happy with talking to you. And then make the other person feel important, do it sincerely. Drivers don't care. Analyticals don't care. But expressives and amiables care. So we can take these principles and adopt these for the different personality styles and be very effective in having people like us. Trust is the next one. So I'm going to use a Japanese word called kokoro gamai. In the introduction, Eric mentioned that I'm a rokudan, a 6th dan in Shitoru Karate. So this kokoro gamai, it's a concept of, I call it in English, true intention. Kokoro in Japanese means the spirit, the heart, but it's a little bit more nuanced than that. It's about what is your intention? What are you trying to do? And gamai is a phonetic change from kamai. In karate, we might have our fighting kamai, our position, our stance on something. So what this talks about in sales is when you're dealing with clients, what's your true intention? What are you trying to do? For example, if you know Zig Ziggler, passed away a few years ago, very famous American sales coach. This is a really profound saying. Really profound saying. You can get everything you want in this life if you just help enough other people get what they want. That is very profound. And in sales, this is how we've got to be thinking. You know, this is how you build a trust because you're trying to help them get what they want, not what you want. It's the same idea as this. You know, if inside the buyer's benefit and advantage, right, and interest are your interests, it's a win-win. And that's what we want, a win-win. We don't want a win-lose or lose-win. We want a win-win. So trust comes from what's your true intention. If your sales manager has got his jackboot on your neck, on your throat, about numbers this month and telling you to sell the highest margin products, you're in the wrong company. You should get the hell out of there right now, because that's not the environment you want to be in. You want to be in a company that says, we're here to build up long-term relationship with partners, and interests of the client are the premier interest for us, and we're going to serve that, and in their interest and success will be our success. So that's the true intention, is helping the client succeed, and therefore you will succeed, as Zig Ziggler made the point. But is that your intention? Is that your starting point? Is that the spark in you every day when you get up? Or is it, if I sell this, I'm going to make a lot of money. I get a big bonus, I get a big commission. We're not looking for transactional business. We're looking for lifetime partners. If you are in a transactional business, I feel sorry for you. I hope there's a lot of money attached to it, because it's very unrewarding. Very unrewarding. I met an American sales guy. He's working here now. He said that when he was younger, he was selling meat products in the States. He could never go back to the same town twice because the quality was bad. And he would sell people this meat product and keep moving. Transactional. No, not what we want. I think we should be going for a lifetime trusted partner. Makes everything easier. So what's our true intention? Now, brands we know are popular because it's a trust. You buy a particular bag or a car or whatever it might be, based on the brand, you know what you're getting. We love brands. Brands give us reassurance that the purchase is going to be safe and sound, and it's the right thing we should do. We are brands. Everyone in this room, you are a personal brand. And if your brand is strong and true intention is right, people will trust you. Right? So think about, what is your personal brand and how do you demonstrate that? You've got all of this social media to use to demonstrate your personal brand. Push out your image, whatever it is that you're saying on those videos. What's the content of what you're saying? So know, like, and trust is a very old idea in sales, but it's very fundamental. Today with social media, we need to be known. I'd like to encourage all of you to start posting stuff on social media of your creation based on your insights and observations and experiences in your business. I'd encourage you to use video. Look at those numbers on YouTube. Now, David's on YouTube. He has an excellent video. Looked great. That's right. We worked on that together. But there's, tons of videos of me. It's not because I need to put videos up there to stroke my ego. My ego is already big enough already. But I do that to project confirmation to the potential buyer. You can trust me. I know I'm an expert in this area. I'm reliable. I'm friendly. And we do it that way. So I encourage you. Video is good. If you can start a podcast. Now, I got suckered by a very large search engine company, whose name I won't mention, who in 2018 said, we are going to search in addition to text by audio. And I thought, bingo. There are lots and lots of people doing text. Very, very red ocean to swim in that one. But audio, that's a blue ocean. Not so many people are doing audio. So I went from doing 3 podcasts a week to doing 6 a week, thinking with this big search engine is going to be accessing my audio and pushing me up. Didn't happen. I'm still waiting. Where is my audio that's supposed to be getting me, top of the search engine here? Hasn't happened yet. But things are changing all the time with new things coming up. And we have the capacity now to access those things. So I encourage you to do that. The like part, think about who you're talking to, adjust your communication style to something they're comfortable with, and think about using those Dale Carnegie principles with them when you're with them so that they feel very comfortable with you, they like you. And then finally, trust. What's your kokotogamai? What's your true intention? What are you trying to do with that client? Is it for them you're making the sale, or is it for you you're making the sale? If it's for them, you will be successful, have a long career in sales and be very, very well rewarded. If it's for you, it'll be short term and you'll have a happy sales life. So don't go for that. Know, like, and trust, a very simple idea. I hope that you can all get a chance to start appearing in social media with your content, building up your personal brand. So thank you very much, and I'll open up for any questions you may have.